Yeah, good morning, guys. Welcome to VCube Software Solutions for the day 2 of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning Internship. So let me share my screen. Can you please respond to me whether my screen and the video both are okay for all of you? Yeah. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to VCube Software Solutions for the course of 15-day refresher course on Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning through Data Science. Yeah. Yesterday, I have discussed about the introduction to what is artificial intelligence and machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. And I also discussed about the relationship between AI, ML, and generative AI. Then we have seen a little bit about applications of data science. Then we introduced what are the features of data science. Why we are using Python for data science. Now, actually, I have to take this part yesterday itself due to time constraints. I could not taken this point. So I will be covering introduction to Python, conditions and loops and function. Then I will start today's concepts such as string object and so on. So with your permission, can I go ahead, please? Just give me 1 minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, welcome to the day 2 session. Today, first of all, I will introduce what is Python. Then I will start the introduction to data structures of Python. Okay. I will be starting from the scratch. The people who does not know Python, even they can do projects at the end of the day. So all of you respond whether the screen is okay for all of you. I will be happy if you respond to me. The screen and audio, both are okay for all of you? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to one and all, guys. Yeah. Thanks to one and all. First of all, let me discuss about okay, what is Python? And yesterday I have introduced what is Python, and today I will be starting basics of Python. So with your permission, can I go ahead, please? Now, what are the programming language which you are learning? The first and foremost job, what we have to do is called as how to print output onto the screen and how to read the data from source. So in Python, we have a function called print function. Using print function, we will print anything onto the screen. Here, look at here, print is a function which is used to print anything onto the screen. Now, here, while printing, we are going to take the string. A string is a group of characters which is enclosed with either in single quotations or double quotations. Both are possible. Okay. Whatever the screen you people are seeing is called as a Jupyter notebook. And you people are finding a rectangular box now. This is called as cell. You are going to write the code here and you are going to press tab symbol here. Is it okay for all of you? Now, print is a function which is used to print anything onto the console. Is it okay for all of you? Then that second function every student must know is called as input function. Input is a function which is used to read data from the source. Can anyone respond what is the source for us? Basically, the source is called as keyboard. Okay. Input is a function which always takes an optional argument called as a string as input, and input function returns an output called as string. Is it okay for all of you? Now, whenever we execute this statement, what will happen? It will create a rectangular box. In this rectangular box, I'm going to type here Rama. Whatever the data which you are taking from the input function, that is the string. Now, the string is stored in a variable called as name, and I'm printing here. Is it okay for all of you? Now, once again, I'm repeating, print is a function which is used to print anything on the screen, printing on screen. Then Input is a function which is used to read data from the screen, which is used to read data from source. Okay, our basically source is keyboard. Is it okay for all of you? Now, I will be introducing two other functions. First one is called as a type function. Type is a function which will return the data type of variable, which will return data type of a variable. Okay. Now, ID is a function which will return unique memory location. We will discuss more about it in few minutes. See here, please. Now type of name. Here, name is a string variable. So type of name is going to give me string data type. Then ID is a function which is going to return the unique ID of the memory location. Okay. Now, if you give me 2 minutes, I'll discuss in detail about what will happen. For example, in Python, whenever we initialize a variable a equal to 10, the meaning of this syntax, this is I'm going to store a value 100 in a variable of a. Here a is called as variable, and which will be stored in a memory location. Okay. Every memory location will be identified with unique 15-digit ID. Okay. Now, whenever we create this kind of variable, it creates an object called pyint object. And we are going to store a variable called as 100. Now, if I want to know this object location, we will use a function called ID. Is it okay for all of you? Kindly respond to me. Now let us start our concept with the addition of two numbers. In order to add addition of two numbers, what the thing we have to do? Whatever the data which we are taking from input function will take string as argument and which produces string as output. But if I want to add two numbers, my data must be in the form of either integer or float. So I will be using a built-in function called as either int function or float function. Okay, see here what we are doing. Input function, for example, let us take 100. This 100 is string. This string has to be converted to integer. Okay, it can be done by using a function called int here. Look at here. Whatever the data I have taken from here, because it is a string, the string will be converted to integer and it will be stored in a variable called as n1. Now here n1 is a integer variable. Okay, and the same time I am also taking one more input from the keyboard. I will be storing in a variable called as n2. Now n1 plus n2, the result will be stored in sum. Is it okay for all of you? This is nothing but a simple program is used to add two numbers. Can I continue? Now the same plus operation with numbers is called as addition. The same plus operation if I use with a string, this is called as concatenation. Okay. Now, if I add this a plus b represents about addition, a star b represents about multiplication. But same thing, star operation with numbers is called as multiplication. Same string object with star operation with string, which is called as replication, or also called as repetition. Now, you observe carefully, I have taken two strings. One is stored in a variable A, stored in variable B. Now, A plus B, nothing but it will provide concatenation for us. Here, A star B means A is a string which has a value called 1, will be repeated for 3 times. I hope it is clear for all of you regarding what is concatenation and what is replication. Can you please respond to me? Now, in Python, in order to create variables in Python, in C, C++, Java languages, what we will do is called as, we will take storage location and we have to write the data type. Then you have to write variable name is equal to value. But in Python, no need to write storage location, no need to write data type. Simply assign a value to the variable. Okay, simply assign a value to the variable. That's it. No need to create any variables. Here, 100 is an integer value that we are going to store it in a variable called as variable 1. Now, whenever we print off variable 1, I am going to print 100. And type of variable 1, it is going to print as class, comma, int. Then ID of variable 1, which will print a unique memory location for that variable. Is it okay for all of you? Then in C, C++, Java languages, we have two data types for storing fractional data, such as float and double. In Python, we don't have double data type, but we have only float data type. Now, if I want to store this fractional data in a variable, print of variable means it is going to print 1000.06. And whenever I ask the data type of this variable, it will represent class, comma, float. And the ID of variable will be different. The ID of variable 1 is different from ID of variable 2. Can you please check it out? ID of variable 1 is ending with 104. ID of variable 2 is ending with 312. Okay. Now, let us discuss about how to create string variables. Now, a string is a group of characters which is enclosed with either single quotations or double quotations. Now, look at here. The type of the string is str, and the ID of string is ending with 120. So I can say that everything in Python is an object. In Python, we can also assign multiple values to multiple variables. Here, 100 is an integer value that I'm going to store it in X. 25.5 is a float that I'm storing in Y. Python is a string that I'm storing in Z. I'm going to print X, comma, Y, comma, Z. Okay. Now, once again, I'm repeating, I am going to teach only the things which are necessary for machine learning and data science. Is it okay? I'm not teaching entire Python. If you want to learn entire core Python, including everything, that will be available in the course itself. So with your permission, I will be discussing about membership operations. This will be used regularly. In Python, we have two different kinds of membership operations. First one is in and second one is not in. The basic purpose of in operation is I have taken a substring. Now, if the substring is available in the string, in operation returns to true. Okay. Now, Python is case sensitive. Very, very important point everyone should represent is called as a Python is case sensitive. What is the meaning of case sensitive? Upper cases will be treated differently and lower cases will be treated differently. Okay. Now, yeah. Now, here, Q, I am searching for this substring called Q. Now, this cube is available here. So, in operation returns to true. Now, look at here. Now, I will be giving small cube. Small cube is not part of that. So, in operation return false. Is it okay for all of you, Ma? Am I going slow? Is it okay? This space if I go. Now I wanted to search for 3. Is 3 available in this object or not? Yes, it is available. So, in operation returns to true. Okay, Nama? Now, I wanted to search for 6. 6 is not available in this list object. So, it will return false. So, membership operations always returns Boolean, either true or false. Is it okay for all of you? Then, now, whenever you wanted to learn Python, first of all, you should know about data structures of Python. This is the very, very important for our building our machine learning and data science application. So, Python data structures are classified into, first one is sequences, and second one is collections. Okay. Now, what is the basic purpose of sequences? Sequences store the data. Everyone, please note down the store data in continuous memory locations. Okay, Nama? And this supports a beautiful concept called as indexing. Okay. The basic purpose of indexing is used to access the data. I will discuss in detail in few minutes. And sequences also supports another important concept called as slicing. If any student is good enough in slicing and indexing, he can do very good programming. Okay. Now the basic purpose of sequences are used to access the data sequential only. Example, if I want to access 1000 for the card, I have to move from 0th index, first index, second index, 99, 99. Then only I can access 1000 index. Is it okay? These are the basic rules for sequences. Now, if you ask me one question, what are called as sequences? In Python, we have four kinds of sequences. First one is range function. I will be elaborating in few minutes. Range function generates a sequence of numbers. Then next one is string object. String object generates a sequence of characters. Third one is called as a list object and tuple object. List and tuple objects are used to store heterogeneous data. What is the meaning of heterogeneous data? We can store any kind of data. That is called as list and tuple. Now, range function, string object, list object, tuple object are part of sequence. I hope it is clear for all of you. Now, with your permission, can I discuss more about collections by erasing this? Can I erase it? I hope are you taking it? Now let me discuss about what are sequences and collections. Now, Python also supports two different kinds of data structures such as dictionary and set. The basic rule of these are nothing but unordered. That means they store the data in the unordered fashion. But the advantage of collections are direct access. What is the meaning of direct access? Now, to access first record, it will take 1 second. To access 99th record also, it will take 1 second. To access 1 lakh record also, it will take constant amount of time. It is just because of the concept called hashing. So, with your permission, shall I introduce what are the sequences and collections as the data type of Python? Now, I will be discussing in detail in the coming sessions, please. Now, first of all, let me discuss about a string. String is a sequence of characters. They are enclosed in either in single quotations or in double quotations. Both are possible. Okay. Here. Okay, Nandi. Now, second one is list object. List is a data structure where we can store heterogeneous data. What is the meaning of heterogeneous data? A list will be created by using square brackets in Python, where we can store 100 is an integer, Python is a string, 50.75 is a float, a is a string, and 2 is a boolean. Now, I will be discussing about what is -1 and -2 in few minutes. Okay. First of all, I'm introducing the data structures one by one. Then in Python, we have another data structure called as tuple. Now, both list and tuple are used to store heterogeneous amount of data. Now, in order to create list object, we will store square brackets. To create tuple object, we will use parentheses. Okay. Now, another data structure which we have to discuss is called as dictionary. Dictionary is a data structure where we will store the data in the form of key colon value. Okay, in terms of open brackets and closure brackets. Okay, and Python also supports another data structure called as set. The basic purpose of set data structure is used to remove the duplicate data. Okay. Now, with your permission, can I enter into one by one each and every objects? Clear for all of you? Now, if you have any questions, I will be happy to respond to you. Okay. Any questions, Amma? Now, whenever you wanted to learn any programming language, the first and foremost job what you have to do is called as you should know about what are conditions and what are the loops that are supported by programming language. Okay. Before going to discuss about conditions and loops, today, first of all, I will start about range function. So all of you kindly please take running notes. Range is a function which is used to generate a sequence of numbers. Okay. Range is very, very important in machine learning application. Range has three syntaxes. Range with stop number. That means we are going to generate sequence of numbers from 0 to stop number. Okay, where top number has to be excluded. This is first syntax. Second syntax is range of start number, comma, stop number. Here we are generating numbers from start number to stop number. Range has third syntax, range. The syntax consisting of start, comma, stop, comma, step. Here, whenever we are discussing about step, basically the step can be minimum either +1 or -1. This is the rule everyone must know. And the second rule is step should not be 0. Step should not be 0. If it is 0, it generates error. Is it okay for all of you? Now, with your permission, I wanted to discuss and demonstrate some sort of examples with range function. Is it okay? Now, look at here, please. Now, range of, see here, range of 5. It is generating numbers between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I have typecasted this range function into the list object. Okay? Now, range of 5 is generating data between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 5 value has to be excluded. The second syntax of range function is here I have given the start number as 5 and I have given stop number as 10. So it is going to generate numbers between 5 to 10. Is it okay for all of you? Now, let me go for third syntax. Now, here I will be starting my range 1, 10 and step is 2. So initially it will start with 1 plus 3, 2, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. Is it okay? Now we can go forward. We can also go for backward. If you want to go backward, you have to use this step as -1. So can anyone respond to me? What can be the output? Initially, I have to start with 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2 and 1. So 0 cannot be included. Okay for all of you? Can anyone respond to me? Now, whenever we are discussing about range function, we must know about two rules. The rule number 1 is, look at here. Now, when we are incrementing, the first number must be less than second number. Look at here. Whenever we are incrementing, always we should follow this. If the first number is greater than second number, always we are going to get empty data. Okay. Now, whenever we are decrementing the data, the first number must be greater than second number. Is it okay? When decrementing, the first number must be greater than second number. Here, the first number is less. So we have the empty data. Is it okay for all of you? Then, finally, last point regarding range function is here, whenever you pass 0, it will give error. Step should not be 0. Whenever you give step as 0, it is generating error as 0 for all of you. It is providing an error called value error. Range function is very, very important in writing application. So with your permission, shall I go for what are conditions and loops? Now, generally, let me discuss about introduction for what is a condition and what is a loop. Generally, what we will do is we will write a sequence of instruction to perform. Okay. And our programs will be executed sequentially one after other. This is general way of execution. Sometimes whenever we have a condition here, okay, whenever we write a condition, every condition will have two properties. Okay, every condition will have two values, either true value or false value. When the condition becomes true, I have to move from third row to fifth row. When the condition is false, I will be moved from third row to fifth row. So we will use some sort of conditions. Python supports two kinds of conditions, if condition and match case. In C, C++, Java, you have if condition as well as switch case. In Python, instead of switch case, you have another syntax called match case. So with your permission, can I go for one by one? Now, Python supports three different kinds of if condition. If condition, if, and here we are going to write one or more conditions. Then you have to end with colon. Colon is the rule. Then whatever the block of statements we are writing here, block has to be indented. In C, C++ and Java, if you want to execute block of statements, what you will do? You are going to write open brackets and closure bracket. Here we are going to write a block of code. But in Python, If I want to write a block of code, I have to give some indentation. You have to give a space. Look at here. It is called as indent. So Python is not called as block oriented. Python is called as a indentation language. Is it okay for all of you? Now, when this condition is true, we will be executing this block of statements. When this condition becomes false, it exits from the if condition. Is it okay for all of you? Can you please respond to me? Any questions are coming up, Amma? Now, here I have initialized x equal to 10. So 10 is greater than or equal to 10. This condition is true. Whenever this condition is true, I will be printing x is greater than or equal to 10. After coming out of if condition, whatever the statements we have written, those will be executed sequentially, one after the other. Is it okay, Nandi? This is called as a simple if condition. Simple if condition always takes only one condition. Now, if you want to perform more than one condition, we should go for second syntax called if condition or expression. Then colon. Then you have to write some sort of statements here. Okay. Now, if also has else statement, then I'm going to write some statements here. Is it okay? Now, whenever this condition is true, we will be executing the statements. Whenever this condition is false, it will go to else block and it will execute the statements. Now, if else loop, if else condition will execute two conditions at a time. Now, let us look at small example. I have taken x equal to 10. Now, 10 mod 2. Yes, 10 mod 2, divide 10 with 2. So, 5 2s are 10. Remainder is equal to 0. So, whenever this condition is true, I will be printing x is even. Okay. Now, is it okay for all of you? For example, if I take x equal to 11, it will go to else block. This is called as else condition. Python also supports if you want to perform more than two conditions. If you want to perform more than two conditions, Python also supports a third kind of if statement. Now, look at the syntax of the if. Now, instead of going to the condition directly, I'll go to the program. Look at here. Now I will be taking two numbers. Now, I will be taking two numbers. First number is 10 and second number is 20. Now, look at here. Here, x has been initialized as 10, y has been initialized as 20. Now, when this condition is true, I will execute this block. When this condition is block, it will go to elif block. Then it will check, yes, 10 is less than 20. This condition is true. So I will be printing x is less than y. If none of the conditions are satisfied, it will go for else block and it is going to print x double equal to y. Is it okay for all of you? If anyone wants to perform more than one condition, we will go for if, elif, and yes. For example, if I give both 10 and 10, I will go to else block. Is it okay for all of you? These are called as simple conditions supported by Python. Next, now if I want to perform same operation repetitively, okay. If I want to perform same operation repetitively, we will use the concept called as loops. Python supports two kinds of loops. First one is for loop and second one is while loop. Languages like C, C++, and Java supports another loop called do while. But this do while will not be supported by Python. Is it okay for all of you? Now, let me first of all discuss about the syntax of for loop. Look at here, please note down. Variable name in sequence. And it has to end with colon. Then, whatever the statements I wanted to execute, I will write them in a block. Okay, this is called as for block. Here, if you want me to explain about the syntax, here I already discussed about what is the sequence. Now, Python supports four sequences: range function, string object, list object, and tuple object. Now, you can take anything as sequence. Now, when sequence has elements, When sequence consisting of elements, then in operation returns to true. For example, if I take sequence as 1, 2, 3, 4, I can say that I have elements in the list object. Whenever we have elements in the list object, in operation returns to true, then the first element from the sequence will be copied to variable name. Then I can say that for loop is true. Then we will execute this block of statements. And this step is called as indentation. Is it okay for all of you? Now, until we have elements in the sequence, for loop will be executed. Now, once if we reach to the end of the list object, when there are no more elements in the sequence, in operation will return false. Whenever in operation returns false, we will simply come out of for loop. Then it will execute whatever the statements we have sequentially. Is it okay for all of you? Now, any questions, Amma? Now, here I will be taking range of 5. Whenever I take range of 5, what will happen? My range of numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 will not be considered. Now, I have elements in the sequence, then 0 will be copied to A. Now, A is called as 0. And see here, this is called as the block of this for loop. Now, I will be printing A. A is 0. After printing, I am giving a space by using a terminal called N. 0 space. Then 1 will be copied to A and 1 will be printed. 2 will be copied to A, 2 will be printed. 3 will be copied to A, 3 will be printed. 4 will be copied to A, 4 will be printed. Once if I reach here, I don't have any data. So in operation return false. Whenever in operation return false, what will happen? It simply exits from the while loop. Whenever it exits from the while loop, it will execute other statement sequentially. So after printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will print end. Is it okay for all of you? Can you please respond? Now, at any point of time, if you feel any difficulty, please stop me and ask a number of questions. So can I go forward? I hope everyone is okay. Now let me discuss about range syntax. So initially, my range sequence consisting of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. 0 will not be included. So 5 will be copied to A. We are printing 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it okay for all of you? Now, this is the third syntax. This is the third syntax of for loop. With your permission, can I discuss about addition of few numbers? Look at here. Range of 1, 6 means we will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have elements in the sequence. So A is a variable, will get 1. So I'm printing 1 multiply 2. Initially, I have taken number equal to 2. 1 multiply 2 is 2. Then 2 will be copied to A. 2 multiply 2 is 4. 3 will be copied to A. 3 multiply 2 is 6. 4 is copied to A. 4 multiply 2 is 8. It will be copied to A. 5 multiply 2 is 10. Is it okay for all of you? Now, with this knowledge, can anyone respond? What can become output of this logic? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess what will be the output of this logic? What can become output of this logic? Can you please write in the chat box? Now, my range operation consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whenever 1 will be copied to I already told you now, whenever you take a star operation with string is called as replication. So this star will be repeated for once. Now 2 will be copied to I, star will be printed for 2 times. 3 will be copied to I, star will be printed for 3 times. 4 will be copied to I, star will be printed for 4 times. 5 will be copied to 5, star will be printed for 5 times. When range operation is no data, it will come out for loop. I hope it is clear for all of you till now. Please kindly respond. This is about for loop. Is it okay? Now, if you have any questions, I will be happy to respond, please. So can I go forward? Okay. Now, let me discuss about the syntax of while loop. While here you can write either condition or expression. And it has to end with colon. Now, whenever this condition is true, we need to execute some block of statements. Okay, and this is called as indentation. What is the meaning of indentation here? You people are giving some spaces now. Indentation can be given either 1 tab space or 4 spaces. Is it okay for all of you? Now, look at here, please. Now, in order to print sum of the numbers between 1 to 10, initially I have taken starting number I will be 1, and I wanted to continue up to the numbers n equal to 10, and I have taken sum equal to 0 initially. Okay. Now, 1 is less than or equal to 10. This condition is true. Whenever this condition is true, these two block of statements will be executed. Now, sum equal to sum plus I. Sum equal to I will be added to sum, and I will become 2. Then once again, 2 is less than or equal to 10. This condition is true. Once again, sum equal to 2 plus 1 equal to 3. And I will become 3. In the same way, the statements will be executed. Is it okay for all of you? Can you please respond? Now, with your permission, I will be introducing what is a break statement and what is a continue statement. Okay, two things, break and continue. Will please break and continue. Now, these are the very, very important statements. They will alter the execution of the conditions or loops. So whenever you encounter a break, simply exit from the loop. Okay. Whenever you encounter a break statement, either in the condition or loop, it simply exit from that loop. But whenever you encounter a continue statement in the loop or condition, it will not execute the next statement. It will skip the rest of the code. So with your permission, I will take 1 or 2 minutes to discuss about the examples of break and continue. Can I continue? Yeah, look at here. Now, I have taken range of data from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it okay? Initially, 1 will be copied to I. I is a variable, it has 1. Now all these three statements are part of this for loop. Now, initially, 1 double equal to 3. No, this condition is not true. So, break statement will not get executed. So, I will be printing inside the loop of 1. So, I will be printing 1. Okay. Then I will pick at 2. 2 double equal to 3. No. Once again, break statement will not be executed. So, it is going to print 2. And then I will become 3. 3 is less than 3 double equal to 3. Yes, this condition is true. Whenever this condition is true, break statement exits from the loop. It will not execute the remaining code. So after printing 1 comma 2, it will exit from the while loop and it will print outside of a loop. Is it okay for all of you? Please kindly respond. Everyone understood what is a break statement? Please. Any questions, Amma? Now I wanted to discuss about what is continue statement. Okay. Now my range of values will go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So initially I will become 1. 1 double equal to 3? No. So I will be printing 1. Then I will become 2. 2 double equal to 3? No. I don't. Yes. I will be printing I value 2. Then I will become 3. Yes. 3 double equal to 3. Whenever this condition satisfies, it will never print this value. It will continue to the loop. So I will become 4. 4 double equal to 3? No. I will print 4. Next value is 5. 5 double equal to 3? No. 5 double equal to 3? No. So it is going to print 5. After completion of this for loop, it will exit and it will print outside of the loop. Is it okay for all of you? Yeah, break, I will repeat, Nama, please. Yes, I will repeat the break. See here, please. Now, there are two ways we can execute the break. Now, if I execute the break in a loop, for example, let us write for loop. Okay, this is my for loop. If I write a break here, what will happen? Whenever I write a break statement, it exits from the loop. Break statements exit from loop. Okay. Now, whenever I write break statement in nested loops, first for loop, second for loop. If I write a break statement in the nested loop, then what will happen? The break will exit from only from inner loop. Only from inner loop. I hope it is clear for all of you, ma. Somebody asked me what is break now. Continue also. Now, the break will exit from the condition, but whenever you encounter continue, it will skip the rest of the code. It will skip rest of the code. Rest of code, and it will continue to the loop, Amma. I hope break and continue okay for all of you. Now, with your permission, shall we repeat some other examples to get more knowledge? Can you please respond, Amma? Now, can anyone tell me the answer for this? Now, this is a string. Now, initially, what will happen? P will be copied to letter. Letter is a variable and it will be copied with P. Now, what will happen here? This entire block is a loop for loop. Now, look at here, P double equal to H? No. So, I will be print P. Next one is Y will be copied to letter. Y double equal to H? No, it is going to print Y. Next one is T. T double equal to H? No, it is going to print T. Next letter is H. Yes, H equal to H. Whenever this condition true, break statement, exit from the loop. So after printing PYT, will exit. Is it okay for all of you? Can you please check these messages? Now, is it okay for all of you? Now, can anyone guess what will be the output when we use continuous statement? Can anyone guess? Except H, it will print everything. Is it okay for all of you? Now, shall we do a small example game? Now, with this knowledge, shall we discuss some small game? Online people, can you please respond to me? Yeah. Now, let us play with small game here. Now, whenever you wanted to solve any problem, first of all, you have to study the problem. Read it here. Write a program, randomly generates 5 numbers. Please look at here. Write the problem statement once again. First of all, I have to generate 5 random numbers. Okay. Through 1 to 5. My first requirement is I have to generate 5 random numbers. Okay. This is my first requirement. I need to generate random numbers between 1 to 5. Okay. I have to generate random numbers between 1. How many number of times? 5 times. So for loop will be executed for 5 times. Okay. Now it is a game between a computer and a user. It is a game between computer and a user. Is it okay? Now, first of all, computer will guess a number that I will be storing in a variable called as R. And as a user, I will guess a number I will be storing in G. Now, for each guess, print out whether it is right or wrong. Whenever computer generated number is double equal to my guess, I will call it as right. Okay. Else, I will treat it as wrong. The end of the program, I have to print how many statements are right and how many statements are wrong. This is the essence of this problem. Is it okay for all of you? Everyone understood the problem statement? Everyone understood the problem statement. So, whenever we are writing about machine learning and data science application, the first and foremost responsibility is to understand the problem. Now, in 2 to 3 minutes, I will discuss about how to generate random numbers. Please look at carefully. Random numbers. In Python, there is a library called as random. Random is a library. It is used to generate random numbers. Okay. It is used to generate random numbers. Now, it has a function called randint. Randint is a function which always takes 2 arguments. I wanted to generate random numbers between start number with stop number. Now, look at here, please. 5 times I will be running the loop. Okay, according to the problem statements, I will be running the loop for 5 times. So I have taken for I in the range of 5. So it will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 5 times this for loop will get executed. 5 times I have to generate random numbers between 1, 5. Here, start number is 1, end number is 5. In between 1, 5, always we are generating random numbers. Whatever the random numbers we are generating, I'm going to store it in a variable called as R. R is a variable where the computer generated random numbers will be stored. Is it okay for all of you? Then myself, I will be taking random numbers from keyboard. Okay. Now, I will be reading some data from the keyboard and I will be storing in a variable called as guess. See here, guess is the data which is taken from data from keyboard. R is the variable that is used for whatever the data which is generated by the machine that we are storing in R. Okay. According to the problem statement, when guess double equal to R, I will print right. Okay. Now, I need to take two other local variables. Why I need to take two local variables? Whenever it is right, I have to increment right equal to 0. So initially I have taken right equal to 0 and wrong equal to 0. Is it okay for all of you? Whenever this guess value is equal to random number, I will be incrementing right plus 1. Okay. When guess value is not random number, I will be incrementing wrong plus 1. Is it okay for all of you? Now, shall we execute this game? Finally, let us see how many, either machine has the winner or myself is the winner. So let me take, I will be taking 4 and machine has generated 3. It is wrong. So I will be taking 5. Yes, both are right. Now I will be taking 2 and the machine has generated 5. Wrong. Next one, I will be taking 3. Machine has generated 1, but only 1 got. Now let me take 1 here. Machine has generated 2. See here, I got only 1 right and 4 wrong answers. Is it okay for all of you? Now, I just now have introduced what are the conditional statements and what are the loops that are supported by Python. Okay, with your permission, shall I introduce about what are functions for a few minutes? These are the inputs for our machine learning. So with your permission, I wanted to discuss about what is a function. Is it okay? For 2 minutes. Now, let us take a block of statements. Now, this is nothing but lines of code. Okay. Every statement is called as one line. In computer science, we'll call it as line of code. Whenever you go to interview, they will ask that how many lines of code you have written for your project. Okay, na? Now, sometimes you wanted to make these 3 statements as a block. Okay. I wanted to make these 3 statements as a block. And I will be giving some name for this block. Okay. Now, whenever I call with the name, these 3 statements will be executed and it will perform a task. That itself is called as function. So, what is the purpose of functions? In order to develop large applications, they have very much complexity. So, we will divide the large project into small modules. Is it okay for all of you? Now, Python supports various kinds of functions. First of all, let me discuss about what are the function types it is supported by Python. The first of all, user-defined functions. What is the meaning of user-defined function? Means, as a programmer, we are defining our own functions. Okay. Second kind of functions are called as built-in functions. For example, just now we use print is a built-in function, and input is a built-in function, and all these are called as built-in functions. Apart from built-in function, Python also supports another function called pre-installed modules functions. Pre-installed module functions. What is the meaning of pre-installed module function? Now, just now used random module. Na? Random is a pre-installed module. Every pre-installed module comes with hundreds of functions. One such kind of function we used is called as randint. Okay. Python supports, apart from built-in functions, it is also supporting hundreds of pre-installed modules. Using those pre-installed modules, you can do your job very easily. Okay, na? And another kind of functions are called as lambda functions. Now, lambda is a function which is used to implement small tasks. Okay. If I want to implement large tasks, I have to use user-defined functions. If I want to use small tasks in machine learning and data science application every day, we will use lambda functions. Is it okay for all of you? Now, with your permission, shall I discuss about what is a user-defined function for a few minutes? Now, let me in order to write a user-defined function, it is a 2-step process. The first one is define a function, and second one is calling a function. Is it okay for all of you? In order to define a function, we have to use the syntax called definition, followed by function name, and we have to take parentheses. These are the parentheses are used to pass arguments. You people also call them as inputs. Okay, and it has to end with colon. Then whenever I write a function name, I can take block of statements. Okay, whenever I call this function, all this block of statements will be executed. Is it okay for all of you? This is called as defining a function. Always function names must be unique, and you can pass any number of arguments. Whatever the arguments you are passing through function, they are called as actual arguments. Okay, and in order to call this function, what to do? Simply call the function name with some parameter. This is called as function call. Now, can I explain with a small example, Andy? Look at here. Look at here, please. Shall I call this as function definition? This is called as function definition. Now, yes, I, F, these are called as formal arguments. And this is called as function call. This is called as function call. Now, string 100,000.0, these are called as actual arguments. Now, I wanted to tell you one rule here. Okay, I wanted, please everyone note down this. Now, there must be one-to-one correspondence between actual arguments in function call with the formal arguments in function definition. What is the meaning of that? If I have 3 arguments in the function call, my function definition must have 3 arguments. That is the rule. Okay. Now, whenever you want to call a function, first of all, you must define a function. After completion of the definition, you must register in the memory. In order to register, you must execute this function. Yes. Whenever you execute the function, it's called as a function registration. And you are eligible to call. Look at here. Now, whenever we call a function, what will happen? Control will shift from function calling to function definition, and string will be initialized to S, 100 will be initialized to I, and 1000.0 will be initialized to F. So it will jump from here to here. It will execute all the statements. After completion of the last statement, it will go to the next statement of function call. I hope it is clear for all of you. Clear for all of you? Now, let me discuss with a simple example. Basically, you can write 2 different kinds of functions, but see here, this is the one way of writing the function, and this is another way of writing function. This is the industry standard function. Is it okay? Now, shall I call this as function call? Shall I call 10 and 20 as actual arguments, and this is called as function definition, and x, I, y are called as formal arguments. Now, whenever I call the function, it will jump from here to here, and x will be initialized with 10 and y will be initialized with 20. Then I will be adding 10 plus 20 and store this result in a variable called as yes. Now I'm printing the result in the function definition itself. Is it okay? This is one kind of function calling. Okay, but now let me discuss about second kind of function calling here. Now this is called as function call. And this 10, 20 are called as actual arguments. Now, this is called as function definition. Now, whenever we call this function, what will happen? This A will be initialized with 10 and B will be initialized with 20. Now, S will become 30. Instead of printing my result within the function definition, I am forwarding. Look at here. Using return statement, I will be sending this result 30 onto the function call. Is it okay? Now, total is a variable that will store the result. And I'm printing here. Always, you should follow this syntax in the applications. Now, I will wait for 1 minute. If you have any questions, please respond to me. Is it okay for all of you? Any questions, Amma? So can I continue? Hope everyone is okay. Today I will be introducing the syntaxes of Python basics. Can I continue? Now, whenever we are discussing about functions, you should also know about two scopes of variables. The first kind of scope of variable is called as local scope. Local variable. That means whenever you declare any variable within a function, that is called as local. Here, shall I call a1 equal to 10 as a local variable? Now, local variable can be accessed within this function only. If I want to access local variable outside of a function, it will be error. Okay. Now look at here. Now, this is called as function definition, and we will be calling a function. Whenever we call the function, local variables will be initialized. Whenever I exit from the function, local variables will lose the scope. This is called as local scope. Now, here, if we create a variable within a function that is local, outside of function, we cannot access it. Is it okay for all of you? Now, look at here. Okay. Another kind of variable, what we should know is called as please. Now, here. Now, if I declare any variable outside of a function, if I declare any variable outside of a function, this is called as global. And a1 equal to 10 is called as local variable. Local means Chandigarh, local. Local. Now, within a function, I can access both local variables as well as global variables. Okay. Now, local variable can be accessed. Now, using function, I can also access the. Explain once again this one. Yeah. Yeah. Let me explain. Some people are asking some questions about local variable. Now, there are two kinds of variables in a function: local variables and global variables. Okay. Now, local variables has to be created within a function. Local variables will be declared within a function. Within a function. And global variables are declared outside of a function. Okay, Nama? Is it okay for all of you? Now, look at here. Now, can I say that A1 is local? Yes. I have declared A1 inside the function. And B is 20. I declared outside a function. So, shall I call this as global variable? Absolutely, yes. Okay, Nama? Yes. Local variables and global variables can be accessed within a function. But global variable can be accessed outside of a function also. Is it okay for all of you? Yes. This is an example, Amma. This is an example for earlier example. This one. Yeah. Here, same thing, Amma. I have taken a local variable a1 equal to 10 that is printing inside a function only. Now, local variable, whenever the function is entering into the function, local variable is initialized. Whenever we are exit from the function, local variable loses the scope. Clear for all of you? Yes. Now, with your permission, I want to discuss about 2 minutes about lambda functions. Now, in machine learning and data science applications, whenever we want to perform small tasks. Okay? To perform small tasks. Small task in the sense, whenever you want to perform one expression, then we are going to use lambda function. The syntax of lambda function is lambda, then variables, colon, expression. Here you can write lambda is a keyword which is used to create lambda functions, and here you can write any number of variables. Any number of variables. And always you have to take only one expression. Okay. Now look at here. Lambda is a keyword and x is a variable and x multiplied to is an expression. Now see here. Here I will be taking x and y are variables and x plus y is an expression. Now I'll wait for 2 minutes. If you have any questions, please ask me, Emma. This is about introduction to lambda functions. With your permission, this is what I wanted to deal yesterday. Okay. Now, with your permission, shall I start the if you want to become good data scientist or machine learning expert, you should be good in 3 data structures. First one is a string object. Second one is the list object, and Third one is a dictionary object. So I wanted to concentrate more on them. With your permission, today I can take only string object. Is it okay? Now, with your permission, can I go ahead, please? Now, let me close these functions and let us go for PPT for 5 minutes. Okay. Now, I'll introduce what are functions. Sorry, what is a string in 2 minutes. Just give me 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Now, everyone kindly follow the running notes, Amma. Want to discuss and demonstrate beautiful exercises and programs. Okay. Everyone, can you please respond whether my PPT is okay for all of you? Now, whenever you wanted to discuss about a string, first of all, you should know what are the basic characteristics of a string. I will go in and out about string object. Okay. A string is a group of characters enclosed in either single quotations or double quotations. Okay. Now, whenever I store a value in this variable, what is happening? It is creating an object called string object. This is the first feature of a string. Second feature of a string is called as strings or sequences. I just now told that range function, string object, list object, tuple object are sequences. Third important point is whenever you go to interview, they're asking one question. Okay, strings are immutable, explain. Yes, strings, once you create a string, you cannot change it. You cannot modify. Now, once you create a string, you cannot add a content, you cannot change, and you cannot delete the string. This property is called as immutability. Is it okay for all of you? Now, whenever you wanted to know about strings, everyone please kindly follow me. Please, everyone take a string like this in the rectangular box like this, Python. Everyone do like this. In order to access the string, strings can be accessed in two directions. Everyone do like this along with me. Now, I will store this Python in a variable called as yes. Now, let me discuss about string accessing. Please follow me. String accessing can be done in two directions. First one is forward direction. Second one is backward direction. Forward direction means reading data from left to right. Reading data from left to right is called as forward indexing. The rule for forward indexing is 0 to n minus 1. Like English, Hindi, Telugu, we will read the data from left to right. So indexing will be given 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it okay for all of you? Now, for example, if I want to access S of 0, which refers to P. Here, S of 0 refers to P. S of 1 refers to Y. S of 5 refers to N. Is it okay for all of you? S of 5 refers to N. It is called as accessing the data in forward indexing. Forward indexing means reading data from left to right, where we will take the indexing from 0 to n minus 1. Some of the languages like Urdu will be read from right to left. That is called as backward index. Backward indexing means reading data from right to left. Okay. Whenever you wanted to read the data from right to left, the formula what we are using is minus 1 to minus n. Okay. Here, let us start with minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Now, S of minus 1 refers to n. S of minus 6 refers to P. Now, apart from them, if I ask S of 6, can anyone tell me output? I have data S of 5 only. This is give me index error. Okay, na? There is no data at S of 6. In the same way, if I want to access the data at S of minus 7, this is also gives me index error. What are the indexes which we are passing? Always they are integers. So if I pass S of 1.1, it is an error. You cannot pass other data. Always index must be integers. Is it okay for all of you? Can you please respond to me? Now, first and foremost job is everyone should know is called as string accessing. And another very, very important property everyone should know is called as strings are immutable. Now, because the strings are immutable, you cannot change it. Okay. After completion of these three data structures, we will go to machine learning concepts. So look at here, please. I wanted to update string 1 of 7. This is 7. Instead of P, I wanted to upgrade with J. It is not possible. Can anyone respond? What is the purpose? Because strings are immutable, you cannot update it. So it will give error. If I try to update any data, it is going to generate error called string object does not support item assignment. Okay. Now, second one is, now I have taken a string called small welcome. Idea of small welcome is ending with the triple eight, and I have taken capital welcome. Because Python is case sensitive, if I change any character, that will store it in a different location. Now, if I try to update here, what is happening? String 2, whenever I try to update, it is taking a different memory location. So you cannot change the data, you cannot update the data. At the same time, you cannot delete the data. Is it okay? If I want to delete any character, it will give error, but I can delete the entire string itself. These three properties are called as string immutability. Is it okay for all of you? Can I forward? Can I go forward? Yes. Now, another very, very important point every student must know is called as slicing operations. Now, once if you know about slicing operations, you can get a better programming. So I want all the people, please follow me along with me. Now, first of all, let me discuss about what is a slice. I will be taking a large string. Okay, I will be taking a large string, storing in a variable called as yes. If I want to extract, please, if I want to extract a part of the data, extracting substring is called as slicing. That means I'm going to extract a part of a string. This is called as slicing. It can be done various kinds of rules. So let me discuss about rules one by one. So everyone kindly follow me. The first rule is called as n column m. That means slices starts from nth character to mth character. So let me explain with an example. Let us take Python. Everyone kindly follow me. Everyone kindly follow me like this. Now, I have stored in a variable called as yes. Now, if I ask yes of 1 colon 4, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So slicing starts from 1 to 4. Fourth index will not be considered. Can anyone tell me the answer? The answer is Y, T, H. Is it okay? That is rule number 1. Where I have given starting number and ending index. So slicing starts at the starting index and up to ending index. Rule number 2. Colon n. So slicing starting from the beginning. So if I ask yes of colon 4, means it will start from 0th index to up to the 4th. So the answer is okay, PYTH. Is it okay? This is second rule. The rule number 3 is n colon. Means slicing starts from nth position till it will go to the end of the string. If I ask me one example, 1 colon. What is the meaning of 1 column? Slicing starts from 1 till it will go to the end. So the answer is YTHON. Is it okay for all of you? Now the fourth rule is colon. Means it will take total string as output. If I ask yes of colon, it will print total Python. Okay. And rule number 5. Rule number 5, if first index is greater than second index, if first index is greater than second index, it will return empty string. What is the meaning of empty string? It will do like this. I hope everyone is okay. Now, if I ask an example, yes of 3 colon 5, can anyone tell me the output? Starting with the third index, it will go up to 4. The answer is HO. Now, if I ask a question, yes of 5 colon 3, can anyone tell me the output? Can anyone tell me the output? First index is greater than second index. So always it returns the empty string. So can I say that empty string as an output here? Now, with your permission, can I explain whatever I have discussed in the Jupyter notebook? Okay, na? Yes. Look at here. Look at here, please. Now, let me take a string object. Now, if you want to become a good expert in data science and machine learning, first of all, you should know the data structures of the corresponding language. Now, we are using Python is see here, a string can be created with double quotations. A string can also be created with single quotations. Now, let us go for forward accessing. Look at here. Let us go for forward accessing. Can you please respond the output of this one? String 1 of 0 is P. Then, string 1 of 1 is Y. String of 5 is N. If I ask string of 6 is error. See here, because there is no data at, now let me elaborate. Yeah, now this is called as forward accessing. Now, how to do backward accessing? See here, string 1 of -1 is N. String 1 of -2 is O. String 1 of -6 is P. String 1 of -7, it will be error because there is no data. What kind of error it is generating? Index error. So can anyone respond what will be the output of this one? 1.1. Just now I told that index may not be integer. So whenever you are providing index other than integer, it is generating error called type error. So are you getting me? Then shall we discuss about string immutability here? Now I will be here. I will be changing string index of n with j. It is not allowing me to do. Why? Because strings are immutable. This is case number 1. The second case is now here. ID of string 1, ID of string 2, ID of string 3. Okay, I wanted to change the value of the string. Whenever I change the value of the string, it is storing in a different location. This is case number 2. But third one, I cannot delete. See here, if I try to delete a string with any character, it will be error. String index of 0. I cannot delete a string, but I can delete the entire object. Is it okay for all of you? Then, now let me go for slicing operations, please. Let us go for one by one slicing operations. 0:6, it represents Python. 7:18 is going to print program. It's 7th index to 18th index. Can anyone respond? What is the output of this one? Column 6, Python. And 7 colon, it is printing programming. And here I will be supplying the data colon, means it will take total string as output. So can anyone respond to the output of this one? 5:3. Can anyone respond, Andy? First index is greater than second index, the output is null string. Now, I will tell one more rule. If first index and second index both are same, it is going to give null string. It is a rule. These are various kinds of rules. Now, I will be telling second kinds of rules for indexing. Look at here, please. Everyone note down, please. Slicing syntax is start number, end number, and step. Now, the step must be minimum +1 or -1. It should not be 0. Now, next few minutes, I will be discussing about that. Can you please look at here? Now, 1:4. 1:4. First index to fourth index. So 1:4:1, it is also give me 1. Now, whenever I wanted to print this one, look at here, please. What is the meaning of this one? I'm starting with 1. Step is 2 here. So the output is YH. Now 1:4:3 means indexing must be at 3. Is it okay for all of you? Now, one more important question everyone should know is called as this one. Everyone should know for minutes only. I want all the people should know about this third kind of slicing. Now, let me demonstrate this one. Let us take Python as a string. Okay. Now :1. Can you answer me? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. :1 means 0th index. So the answer is P. Now 1 colon. What is the answer? The indexing data will take from YTHON. Okay. Now, can anyone respond the answer with me? Now, whenever you wanted to ask this question, now read data from left to right, except last one. So the output of this example will be except n. The answer will be PYTHO. Is it okay for all of you? Now, if you ask me this question, S of -1, see here, -1, -2. So the answer is n here. Except only the last data will be printed. Now I will wait for 2 minutes. If you have any questions in the slicing operations, I will be happy to respond. Okay. So can anyone respond with your answer for this question? Can anyone try? Colon 2 means first two characters. 2 colon or index onwards. Can you please look at here? And another very, very important point everyone should know is called as in the form of slicing is, in the form of slicing is this one. They are asking these questions regularly in the interviews. Look at here. Now, can anyone respond what is the output of this one? If first index is greater than second index, the output is null string. Look at here. And now if I provide index as 0, it will be error. I already told you, index should not be 0. Now, one more important point everyone should know is called as colon -1, which always reverses a given string. Is it okay for all of you? Is it okay for all of you? Colon -1 will always reverse the string. So with this knowledge, shall we start some applications one by one? Shall we start building up some string-based applications one by one? Can you please respond to me? Yeah. Now, let us take this expression. Let us take this problem statement. Everyone read the problem statement. Write a function to add ing at the end of a given string. Once again, I'm repeating. Write a function to add ing at the end of a given string. Now, length should be minimum 3 characters. This is condition number 1. My condition number 2 is, if the given string is already ending with ing, I should add ly. This is condition number 2. Third condition is, if the string is length as less than 2 characters, I should print as it is. This is condition number 3. So shall we write a program to implement these 3 cases? Can they respond to me? Everyone. First of all, kindly you please read the problem statement carefully. Everyone, kindly read the problem statement carefully. Okay. Now, let me discuss about how these 3 test cases will be implemented that problem. Okay, now see here. Everyone, kindly follow me. Now, here we are calling a function called add_string, and I'm passing 2 arguments. Now, in string object, there is a built-in function called length. Length is a built-in function. It will return total number of characters. Total number of characters in a given string. Okay, now whenever I call a function, now string 1 will get AB, and length is a variable. It will store the variable 2. If the length is less than 2, it will be returning the exact string. See here, whenever the length is 2, I will be returning exact string. Okay. Now, condition number 2. When my string is already have 3 characters, see here. When the string length is, see here, when the string length is greater than 2, what I am doing? I will be taking last 3 characters. If the last 3 characters is equal to ing, I will be adding ly. Here, now whenever I pass a string here, the string last 3 characters is ing. So I will be adding string plus ly. When I pass ABC, it is not going to add L. So it will go to else block, and for this ABC, I will be adding ing. Okay. I will wait for 2 minutes. If you have any questions in this, please ask me. See here. Yeah. Now I am already sending ABC. If it is not ending with the string, I have to add ing. If the string is adding with ing, I should add ly. Is it okay for all of you? Explain once again. Yes. Yeah. Once again, I'm explaining, Amma. Now, according to this problem, what to do, Amma? Please. Now, according to this problem, if I have 3 characters, look at here. If I have 3, if a string is having 3 characters, if it is ending with ing, look at here. If it is If I have three characters like ABC, I have to write ing. This is condition number one. In the second example, what we are doing? If the string is already ending with ing, I should add ly. In the third case, if the string is only two characters, I should print as it is. I hope that you understood the problem. You understood the problem. Now, what to do here? Here. Your phone number? Huh? Okay. Now, whenever I send a string here, now see here, string one will be initialized with AB. Now I will be calculating the length of the string. Length of the string is AB is 2. Look at here, please. If the length of the string is less than 2, okay, it is less than 2. If the string is less than 2, I will be repeating this one, the return string. Now, if the string is not less than 2, okay, if the not string is less than 2, if the string is greater than 2, if, for example, if I send ABC, the string of ABC is greater than 2, now this condition is fails. It will go here. And I need to perform this condition statement. Now, I will be searching. Is it ending with ing? No. So it go to else block. I will be adding ing. Is it okay for all of you? Then I will be taking third case. If the string is already ending with ing, I'm adding ly. I hope it is clear for all of you, ma. Now, can I continue? Yes. Now, next, I will be doing a beautiful program, mama. Everyone should know. This is very, very important. Now, everyone should know about a function called split. Now, let me discuss about split function for 2 minutes. Okay. Split is a function in string. It will take string as input. And which produces list of strings as output. Okay. Now, whenever we pass a string, what the split function will do, wherever there is a space, it will create a new string. Is it okay? Now, let me run this. See here. Whenever I provide a string as input, and whenever you call a split function, it will return the output of list of strings as output. Is it okay for all of you? Now, split also has an argument called comma. Whenever I pass an argument comma, it will delimit the string as comma. Now, with your permission, can I take last program and leave the today's session? Last program with your permission. Can I take? Yeah, this is the one of the beautiful exercise. Last 4 minutes, I'll discuss about this. Now, write a Python function which accepts a list of strings. Here, I'm accepting a list of strings containing deposits and withdrawals. Finally, I need to print a net amount. Is it okay? Now, where W refers to withdraw and D refers to deposit. So, shall I implement this application? I need to print a net amount. So, what I'm doing, observe carefully, please. Whenever we call the function, what will happen? Initially, I have taken deposit is equal to 0 and withdraw is equal to 0. Now, my string consisting of, look at here, my string, from this given string, I will be taking the first string. D colon 300 has been taken. And I will store it in a variable called as yes. It is one string. So first of all, what I have to do, I need to split the string into two substrings. For that, what I'm doing, s1 dot split with colon. Now the result will be stored in another variable called as s2. Now I will get d is one string, comma, and 300 is another string. Shall I call this as s2 of 0? Shall I call this as s2 of 1? Now, when s2 of 0 equal to d, what I'm doing, because it is a string, I need to convert it into integer. Then I store this value in a deposit, and from the deposit, I'm incrementing to d. Okay, now deposit will be 300. My second string also deposit, so totally 600. Next one will be withdraw. So it go for else block, and withdraw will be added to 200. Finally, once again, one more 100. Finally, whenever I'm coming out D minus W, 700 minus 200, that is 500 is an output. Is it okay for all of you, ma? Is it okay for all of you? Now, my time is left over. Now, today I have taken the conditions, functions, and string object. Now, tomorrow The takeaways of today's session is I have introduced what are the functions which are used to print and how to read the data and various kinds of basic operations on Python. Then I went to discussion of conditions, and I discussed about loops such as for loop, while loop. Then I have discussed about how to write a lambda function and normal function. Then I have my session ended with a string object. Tomorrow I will take list object in detail. Okay, now list object and tuple object will be covered tomorrow. This is my session. Now over to Rajesh Garu. Over to Rajesh Garu.
Yes, good evening, guys. I think you enjoyed this session. టెక్నికల్ రిలేటెడ్ సార్ అని మీకు క్వైరీస్ అన్ని రిజాల్వ్ చేశారనుకుంటున్నాను. నాన్ టెక్నికల్ రిలేటెడ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ని నేను ఆన్సర్ చేస్తాను. Yes. What kind of certification I will get once after this completion of this internship program? Guys, this certification is a industry valid certifications, and you are getting this certification approved from the one of our government recognized portal. Okay, so no need to worry about the certification and all those things. We will take care of your certification. And one more thing, if you are not regular to classes, please your attendance will be calculated, and మీ attendance calculate అవుతుంది based on your like Zoom ID or in the chat. And from today's certification program, you no need to pay anything. Okay, you are getting a VCube ID card, okay, which is valid for 1 year. Like if you in the 16th day, మనం 16th day na exam conduct చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. అందులో కనుక మీరు పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బాగా చేసినట్లయితే ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నుంచి తెలంగాణ నుంచి టోటల్ 100 స్టూడెంట్స్ని we will shortlist, okay, for the placement assistance and cash prizes we will give you. Okay, guys, text questions I'll answer. You can text here. ఎస్ నోట్స్ గురించి ఎస్ డైలీ చెప్పే మీకు పీడిఎఫ్ ఫైల్ గురించి అడుగుతున్నారమ్మా. డెఫినెట్లీ వి విల్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ ద ట్రైనర్స్. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ పాసిబుల్ వి విల్ సెండ్ యూ ఇన్ ద వాట్సాప్ ఛానల్ ఓన్లీ. మేము డైరెక్ట్గా మీకు వాట్సాప్ చేయడం కుదరదు కాబట్టి ఛానల్లో ప్లేస్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, అది నేను ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్కి కన్ఫర్మ్ చేస్తామా. ఐ డిడెంట్ రిసీవ్డ్ ఎనీ ఐడి కార్డ్ సార్. ఓకేమ్మా, నీకు ఐడి కార్డ్ రాకపోతే ఏం చేస్తారంటే మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఈ రిలేటెడ్ లింక్ మీకు వాట్సాప్